I've been, I don't know, it just feels a little cohesive to kind of work a little bit. I mean, although Jenny and I would say that these classes are kind of standalone classes, um, it's nice to just kind of weave around certain themes. I really appreciated last week when Jenny was bringing up that whole uh, technique of what is just called labeling as we're meditating, because it's a really good way of just knowing what is going on moment to moment. And so much of what is going on, we usually just overlook of what we're, because even when I'm thinking, or when I'm talking right now, you're probably thinking like it's triggering thoughts or memories, or and that's why there's even training in like just listening practices where you know what you're doing right now. I'm listening, rather than like a habit of, like, Nancy says something and then it triggers a story or a thought and then I'm distracted. So right away, then when we're in this class, it's like we can, whether we're instructed or not instructed, practicing seeing what is going on moment to moment. And one way is to then, instead of the words, the thinking going off, that's why we label, is because then we can, it's a way of not getting caught in that web or that particular tangent of distraction. Like, oh, I see what story is coming in. So we know this is triggering this story, or this feeling in my body. Oh my gosh, I suddenly feel tight. Or right now as I'm talking, are you feeling, impatient, disinterested? And if there's disinterest, we can actually generate interest. Yeah, so there's that. That's the work, is to
bring
it's
it
an
down
interesting
to
work.
300
To,
degrees.
oh, Sarah, maybe you want to mute everyone now. Thanks. So this is a very moment to moment practice. Then I'm interested in what is really going on and what my own tendencies are. It's like you're getting to know yourself. And as you're getting to know yourself, noticing if right away you judge yourself, like, why do I always do that? So let's just start with our grounding, kind of our awareness of what's going on without like racing into meditation mode. So when we stop here, you might close your eyes. You might take a few deeper breaths, and then just take in the sound of the bell. So that sound of the bell is just inviting you to pay attention what is happening right now. And in order to do this, there can be a moving into stillness. Or what feels like in the body, like a full stop. And as we stop, like You might notice there's still movement, like you're breathing. A little flow inside. So we're interested, like, what is going on? This was like kind of my new definition of practicing mindfulness. We look at what is going on right now. What has the mind been obsessing about today? What is the mind kind of chewing on? So often that's like our first observation. The mind is so dominant. But then we have a body, and we could start by the the feeling of the earth. Okay, something is touching the earth. There's the base of your body, whether you're, your seat, maybe your feet. And so you're aware of the base. Letting yourself really arrive, that feeling of I'm right here. Body, uh, this is going to then bring awareness, like right to the areas of the body you're usually not there. So this is a good way of getting interested. Oh, what else is here? How does the body feel? And how we can create some space. This might be, sometimes there's just that a little bit of muscular effort to bring some space into the body. You might breathe way down to your belly and just, soften my belly. Be aware of your chest, and the chest opening up. There's not even a real effort. I'm opening my chest. I'm just aware of the space around the chest. Maybe your throat, your mouth. I'm bringing awareness into my body. So we can, part of the instruction could be this label, like I'm labeling what I'm practicing. I'm bringing awareness into my body. And does it help to be specific? I'm aware of my belly. I'm aware of this, my own unique way that I'm practicing uprightness. And then there is kind of this yin yang in a way of uprightness and relaxed. No matter what is happening in the body, mind is at ease with the way that things are right now. And then, if it feels okay, you could take or bring awareness to the breath and just let the breath just deepen. It's longer inhale, longer exhale. And we do this. Um, I had a teacher who said the more we breathe, the more we feel. And we're interested right now in just feeling into how things are right now. What's going on right now, honey? Hmm. You might, let's say, notice that you've been carrying some anger. So, what we're doing then is you might notice, like, oh, yeah, I'm angry about this, but we don't have to make the anger go away. You're interested in, like, what does it feel like to be angry? Hmm. And being angry, I usually start thinking about what to do because I'm mad. So rather, we're just noticing what it feels like. And then we look like, oh, what else? What else is going on today? We open up like the full spectrum. What's happening that feels like something's going your way? Or even just a simple awareness of gratitude that you're here and you're able to do this work. You have this measure of physical health, mental health, that you're here. Sitting and breathing. Getting it closer and closer. What else is happening today? So, um, I think I'm just going to ask right now. I just rang a little bell. Were you able to hear that? I got a little, oh, okay, good. So the bell has rung. And I'm just going to share a little bit of a teaching around one thing we might notice when we meditate, and this is really common is kind of that energy or that feeling of wanting it to be done with. Um, like, yeah, kind of checking the clock, how much longer are we going to be here? Um, and we want to just really get interested in that because this can be an underlying feeling that we constantly have of, how much longer do I have to do this? When am I going to be done? Or if you want to understand this kind of underneath feeling tone, one way I think we all experience this is um, like if you wake up in the morning and you notice, well, what day is it? Oh, it's Monday. And what happens, like, oh, it's Monday. Or even if, maybe you don't have a schedule that's Monday through Friday, or your weekend is pretty much the same as during the week, there's something about that flavor of knowing what day it is. Oh, good, it's Friday, or it's Saturday. And how that we can let that affect us. And suddenly it's good or it's bad. So not only, what day of the week it is, but again, this is part of mindfulness of knowing what is going on and how we're affected by these things. They really can have an effect on our energy. So what else is it that you can observe about this, whether it's, oh, now I'm waiting for something to be over with. Whereas meditation, I find, as I've learned over the years, is this really great opportunity to explore being free of that very energy of waiting. And we do this by getting really interested and um, seeing that when we connect to being and feeling alive and alert, and that we notice that we've skipped over, like we're not even appreciating this very moment of being alive. So I'm going to share this little quote. This is by the teacher Ajahn Chah, and he is one of the main teachers from the Thai forest tradition. And he really in this, what I'm going to share, he talks about kind of being natural, or sometimes people even call it like we're being a naturalist. And I think Jenny has also brought this up. Like just like a naturalist would be really interested in what is happening, what is going on, and studying your own very nature. So Ajahn Chah says, try to be mindful and let things take their natural course. Then your mind will become quieter and quieter in any surroundings. It will become still like a clear forest pool. Then all kinds of wonderful and rare animals will come to drink at the pool. You will see clearly the nature of all things in the world. You will see many wonderful and strange things come and go, but you will be still. Problems will arise, and you will see through them immediately. This is the happiness of the Buddha. So even when I'm reading that, I know that even if you've had some experience with meditation, you might know or get a feeling for what he's talking about here, about no matter what is rising even though, we're sitting in meditation, there's something about when you see like someone's practicing meditation and oh, on the outside, it's like, oh, they're so peaceful and, so calm, sitting and meditating. But inside, wow, there can be turmoil, agitation, and kind of a struggle or a battle is what it can feel like inside when the mind is all over the place and we hate that the mind is all over the place. So he describes it as this welcoming in. And I love this idea of like being in nature and it's just so wild and these strange animals come in, stories, thoughts, we fantasize. I mean, that's real, like the mind really can whip up stories and fantasies. And we just watch all of this and we understand the nature of the mind. So, this is important that we see, like, oh, all these things that could be distractions or not. So, we can even label, this is where kind of that labeling, like, what animals are coming to your pond, that come up and like, oh, look at that, and then they come and they go. So, and I know it sounds really passive, right? It's like, I'm just going to watch. and, and, but to understand that when you're doing that watching, what's really happening is you're not overreacting, you're not suddenly being triggered like a story, or he even says in the quote, when problems arise, we just see them clearly. And I find that there is, when we personally experience this, we understand the wisdom of doing this. That we can feel that energy of like, oh, this problem is coming up and I want to solve it. And how can we stay open? And by staying open, we actually have a deeper understanding of this problem. We see it a completely different perspective. But this can take practice because it's not our usual response to just stay open. I don't need to fix that or solve it right now, but I am going to be with it and let it naturally kind of blossom so I can see its full colors and then let it pass. So let's practice this kind of the mind as this forest pool. So finding then a seated posture or just bring awareness to the body and kind of see what happens when, like, I'm interested in seeing things clearly as they are. Maybe close your eyes. Again, you could choose some like, some deeper breaths. I'm interested in feeling into everything that's going on right now. And truly, if it helps, you could stay with that deeper, longer breath. And as you're bringing awareness to your body, you could feel maybe your skin, the skin on your face, relaxing, softening. when we're choosing to relax, we naturally let go of tension. Maybe feeling your throat or your mouth soften, moving back to the base of the body. You feel grounded and practicing grounding. You might notice kind of what keeps calling for your attention. Is there anything happening in your body? Any pain? We're noticing just this slight effort that can lead to spaciousness. What's arising? What's any thoughts coming in? And if it works, you could bring in labeling that, and it helps you know, oh, that's what's happening right now. One thing that can actually help, like if you're feeling sleepy, is to label it. Like, oh, this is what sleepiness feels like. And when you're aware of it, it can actually generate energy and interest. Huh, sleepiness feels like this. Well, what else? What else is there? And if we're bringing awareness to the present, what are you feeling in this present moment? What do you hear? Another way of this naturalist approach is, I think this was also Ajahn Chah who said, the mind is like wild deer. that a deer in the wild, really alert, but natural, connected, present. Even if you notice that the mind wants to start planning something, it's not that planning is inherently bad. We're just not doing that right now. Right now, I'm practicing putting everything down, free of tension. As we develop this interest, really connects us to life rather than waiting. We might follow the breath, the feeling of the breath moving through the whole body. There might be moments of peace. And the simple experience of alive, aware. You notice what distractions come in or what is arising. You might use that labeling. Oh, this is arising. This is what's happening right now. And you do that with a really light, kind touch. Like nothing is bad or good. It's just arising and passing. Notice how you can choose what is happening. You could choose, I'm inhaling, I'm exhaling. So you're absorbed, choosing to be really absorbed in this experience of inhaling and exhaling. Well, simple. But it's a moment where you're free, you could describe free of stress, just a moment of being at peace with how things are right now. And gradually we'll bring awareness back, letting eyes open. And it's nice at the end of our formal sitting practice just to, yeah, just kind of feel like, how did that practice feel? And it's good to appreciate even like any small amount that we just feel at ease with things as they are. I mean, obviously, we might not feel completely at peace and at ease with the way things are, but it's good to appreciate just even these smallest ways that I feel more open, more relaxed, and how powerful this can be when we bring it out into the world. And when things kind of come up, just like they do in the mind, oh, where we can just stay open to it. So I just want to say thank you, everyone, for showing up today, practicing, doing this very unique work, studying it, seeing what happens,